Hey, great. So, hey everyone, thanks so much for taking the time to join us today for this webinar. We're super excited to have you here to discuss the pros and cons of living in Greece. So, I'm Chloe, founder of My Greek Expat Journey, and my goal is to help new expats relocate to Greece as easily as possible by giving them access to expert resources. We have four very special speakers today: Nicoletta, Juliana, Aimée, and Olivia. We will speak about their experience living in Greece, including all the positives and all the negatives. So without further ado, let's go ahead and begin. So Nicoletta, do you want to go ahead and start with, yeah, your pros and cons?
Yes,
Thank
thank you
you.
for having me. First of all, Kalimera to everyone. My name is Nicoletta. I'm Italian. Technically, I'm one quarter Greek because my grandmother was Greek from Kefalonia, Greek island. So if you are familiar with the story and the movie or the book of the Captain Corelli Mandolin, this is basically the story of my family. So my grandfather was an Italian soldier in Kefalonia during the Second World War. So besides being technically one quarter Greek, unfortunately my grandmother passed away when she was very young, 30 years old. So I didn't really have a connection with my Greek heritage. But at some point it became my dream to move to Greece. So I'm Italian, as I mentioned. I lived in big cities before, so in Milan, Rome, and London. But when I moved to Greece, I decided to change my lifestyle. So in 2005, I went for the first time to Santorini. I used to go on holiday to Greece when I was a child with my family, but in 2005, since I landed in Santorini, I decided that at some point in my life I was going to move and live there. So at the beginning, I have to say it was my dream. Everyone was against it. So everyone was telling me, where are you going? You're going to live your good life in London, your professional life. What you're going to do on an island. And, I guess that most of maybe the speakers and also the attendees are familiar with this kind of thoughts. But at some point, so I start going back to Greece on holiday for almost 12 years. So every year I was going to visit Santorini, meanwhile, I had friends there and other islands. And in 2017, I moved to Santorini from London. I lived in Santorini for 4 years. Then I think that at some point, usually I need a change. So I decided that I needed a smaller island. So I moved to Anafi, which is a tiny island next to Santorini, where there are only 2 ferries per week, only 150 people in the whole island. No pharmacy, no supermarkets. And, I lived there 2 years. I guess a really unique experience, very challenging. And now, actually today, it's been 1 month that I moved to Syros, which is a bigger island. It's the capital of the Cyclades. So, there is, it's bigger, there are more people, more cultural life. So we'll see where I'm going to be next. I guess I could define myself more like a sailor at this point. So I have to say that, my move to Greece helped me in a very personal way. So all the positive things that I'm going to tell you, they are very related to myself. So it first gave me the opportunity to change my lifestyle. So, I was used to live in Milan, Rome, London. I used to work within the music, art environment. So I would say I used to have a very hectic life. So moving to Greece, especially, of course, to small places like islands, helped me to live a more, let's say, a slower life. Which is more, it's closer to what I wanted at some point in my life. I'm 42, which I don't think it's the age is a point, but it's also, I think, gives kind of hope that, you can change your life, whenever you want, it's possible. So it actually improved the quality of my life, and I feel that I am at the center of it. So because maybe also my professional life was more about being an assistant, a producer assistant, an artist assistant. So now I feel that, I'm my assistant, which is the best. Also, it gave me the opportunity to create my own project, which is called One Quarter Greek. You know why? So it started as a blog where I tell the stories from my life here in Greece. And now, I'm trying to developing it in, offering some services, trying to use the skills that, of my previous life. Even though, for the first couple of years, I also, worked as an employee here in Greece, like, actually doing the classical, let's say, summer season in Santorini, which is an experience itself as well. But overall, I think that my experience in Greece is very, very, very positive, even though I'm a very realistic person. So, of course, there are some negative points that I guess, I also used to live in London. It was amazing, but there were also there negative points. Wherever we're going to move, I guess, it's not everything a paradise. The first thing, which is a bit annoying, it's bureaucracy. So it's a challenge whenever you have to deal with paperwork. So it's very, it takes a long time. Only recently, some services are offered online. I think after COVID happened. Before it was everything in person, and sometimes it's like very funny. You go to an office and you speak to someone, they send you to someone else, then they send you to someone else, they give you a stamp, you go back to the first one and then to the third one. So anyway, you have to be very patient, I would say. And also, again, be ready to face, because I think this is actually the reality of, the bureaucracy in Greece, which is also very slow. I also, at some point, deal with the selling of a property for someone, and I had to collect, I think it was only 8 paperwork, and it took me more than 3 months. And they even told me, Greeks, they told me that I was quick. So this is, important to know, because sometimes you get pissed off that, things are not happening. So I think that you kind of have to adjust, to the Greek time, which leads me to another, kind of, I would say, half positive, half negative attitude, which is, I call it the siga attitude. So if you are a bit familiar with Greek, siga means slowly, take it easy. The most, I think that what are you gonna listen, when you're gonna talk to people, most of the people, they're gonna tell you something is gonna happen, siga, that at some point is gonna happen, don't worry. So when they say don't worry, minanisakis, this is the time when you have to worry, in my opinion. Which again, I found it also that has a positive side. So you enjoy your life, you take it slowly, as I'm taking as well, in my lifestyle. But when it comes to work, sometimes it's annoying. Also, communication doesn't really happen by email. I don't know about you, but I was used to live in Milan, Rome, and London, where whenever I need something, I would send an email and get back an answer. Here, the communication by email is not really prioritized. And as a third negative point that I experience, because I open my own business, I find that there is a high taxation, high taxes. Well, this is again the reality. So if you want to, there are the pros, the cons, as all the other ladies are gonna describe. But again, overall, I wouldn't go back to Italy. I wouldn't go back to, to London. I wouldn't go back to my previous life. I'm really happy about it. So, if my, let's say, experience can be of any help for others, I'm happy, to be here. And I'm gonna give the mic to the next lady.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nicoletta. That was really insightful, and yeah, thank you for sharing your experiences and your perspective. I definitely agree with the min anisihis when they tell you not to worry, you should worry with the siga siga attitude. So I think that's very particular about Greece. So yeah, Juliana, if you want to start with your list of pros and cons, we'd love to hear from you as well.
Yeah, very nice story, Nicoletta. I second you on everything. Like, yeah, and Mina Nisikis, it's like, oh my God, yeah, story of my life. So yeah, I'm Juliana. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's I'm honored to be a speaker. All my life, I've been here like more than 25 years now, because I came as a teenager. I was always very attracted to people that coming in country, and I would come in touch with them, because I know how hard it could be, especially for me as a teenager. It was very challenging. I didn't know the language then, although I am half Greek, but I didn't have the chance to learn, because I was raised in a country where we didn't speak Greek. I'm from Estonia. Born to Russian father and Greek mother. So we came here after their divorce, and to the country of my mother, of course, with all the family here, my mother's. So yeah, I had to learn everything from the scratch, and the mindset, the culture, everything. Of course, I was aware of it from the temperament of my mother. It was kind of like known to me, but when I came here, and because I also had part of me which was very temperamental for Estonia, that was my first impression when I came here. I was like, oh my God, there are like others like me, so it was like I came home at some point, because everyone was like so open and loud and very like articulating and all of that. And that was very nice to me when I came here. So, what is truly amazing to me, because I've been traveling a lot in Greece, I love it as a variety in everything, like the nature, the colors and the hues of the green and the blue and the turquoise, all of it. I just enjoy it. Like mountains, you can find everything: mountains, rivers, seas, all kind of beaches. So yeah, for me, it's like super raw, because it's very beautiful country. It's I would say it's very raw, which I also like. You can find like raw nature everywhere. I really loved people here when I came. I came to Thessaloniki, though, not to Athens. Now I live in Athens. If I would, I don't know, compare, in Thessaloniki, people are like even more laid back and friendly. Maybe in Athens, because of the competition, people are more like cautious and not so, I wouldn't say friendly, but they're not so open to as maybe in other smaller kind of cities. So yeah, friendly people, like totally. For me, it was very, very positive. And I never felt racism, because I couldn't speak, let's say. In school, I was very like embraced, and people were trying to help me. They would say, it's okay, don't talk, You don't have to talk. You could just sing if you want. And they were like inspiring me. You know, you can do this. You will find your way and you will do great. And I had very good impression. Yeah, very nice. So, and then of course, the third one, which I think everyone will agree, is the good quality of food that I found here. And the variety again of fresh fruits and vegetables and good meat, good fish, and I really enjoyed it. And when it's available all the time, even at night, even in early morning, like as you said, Chloe. Also, yeah, it's very it's abundant. I would say abundant place. I really enjoy the variety in entertainment also. I can't compare, of course, to many other countries because I haven't been to many countries, but to those that have been, like in Europe and in Estonia, it's like in the US, yeah, I like it here better. It's more heart opening, I would say. Like people are having fun, you know, in Ibuzuka, in clubs. I like it. This one, yeah. So variety and how entertaining it is. So, and from negative points, which was I was amazed in the beginning. I couldn't, not amazed, I couldn't understand why this is happening. It was the me first attitude, which is considered as a norm here. It's okay. Like people even learning their children that it's supposed to be like this. It's okay. You should go first. You should conquer all first and don't let anyone to conquer you. And it applies in everywhere. Like even if you're waiting in a line to get a document, people would go like and try to, you know, surpass and get it first. And then people are like, "What are you doing? Where are you going?" And it's like, "What? Do you have any problem?" You know, this was like, to me, it was like, this is rude. How come? And it was like, but then I saw that people was like, "Well, you should be clever. You know, you should do it yourself." And I was like, really? This is how it goes here? For this, I would say was really negative, and it still is. I can't get used to it yet. Although it kind of gets smoother with years. Like this generation, the younger generations, they're not like that, I would say. Because I'm also 41. Like Nicoletta, close to Nicoletta, and yeah, like in the beginning of 2000, it was more. You could feel it more. Now it's not that much, I would say. But again, you can feel it. And my second part of negative points was that I've seen that a lot happening with the patriarchy, and that it's a norm here. And what I mean by that is that especially in business, I would say. In business, I felt it a lot. I worked in many different businesses, from production and to offices and in services and cafeterias and bars, and yeah, you could always feel it. So there was like different approach to, let's say, barmen who were men, and they would treat you like, okay, you're a woman and you should do like jobs that are not so important, or yeah, I would say in business especially, I felt it a lot. And my third point is poor government support, which is what I mean is you kind of, people here are waiting for support from their closest people and the society close to them more than they will rely on government. So it's kind of like, maybe they don't say it, but it's kind of like they are not relying on their government at all. And you can feel it in every level of, like, you don't have to be poor and needing help, like everyone, like everything is raising higher. Businesses who are like freelancers are going down, the taxes are very high. It's like you don't feel that you can actually develop with the support of the government. You don't feel it. And yeah, that's it from me. Overall, I would say that my my love for this country is much bigger than any negative points I said. And I believe that in every country there are like many negative and positive, of course. And thank you again for listening.
Thank you, Juliana. That was great. Very detailed in terms of each point that you outlined. So thank you so much for sharing your perspectives. But yeah, I think I agree with the whole government, distrust thing. You see it at every level. But also, the love for your love that you have for this country, like the abundance and variety. I also, agree with you as well. Okay, so Aimée, you're up next. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Is that right, Aimée?
It's actually Aimée.
Aimée. Okay, Aimée.
So,
Yeah, so whenever you're ready.
thank you. Hello to everyone. I'm Aimée. I'm 30 years old, which I think is a factor also in which age you move to a country all the time. It helps you to determine your goals. What are you going to do there is different when you're a teenager. I can imagine that is a totally different experience other than in comparison with you are going to move for starting your business. I don't know. It's like there are other experiences waiting for you. So I'm from Mexico. I came to Greece for studying my master's degree, part of my master's degree. It was an Erasmus Mundus program, so we were just like changing universities. I was in Bologna at first, after I was in Thessaloniki, and I finished my master's in the middle of the pandemic in Strasbourg in France. So I decided to finally stay